My name is Zozo and I'm 48. This channel is about keeping vows that I've made to myself. I've made a list of 50 vows that I promise to keep to myself. Vows like learning new things, running, continuing running races, and just running weekly. Making sure that I look good wherever I go, I dress well, I take care of myself. Uh, Restarting my knitting so that I'm better at knitting, improving my knitting skills, traveling, just living and growing. And it's going to be one vow at a time. And it's going to be almost like a diary of reflection, but also doing, acting up on those vows. And why did I decide to make such a list? So the story goes, after my divorce, it's almost 7 years ago, I realized that I have been a selfless giver. A selfless giver in a way that I'm a mom, I was married, and I literally just, my life was about the people that were around me. Yes, I did things for myself, but I did not fully unapologetically commit in doing those things. I've always had things that I wanted to do, to improve, to learn, like dancing salsa, and traveling alone, and I've done those things, but it wasn't like I was fully committing, like in a way that I was choosing myself. And being divorced has given me that time to reflect, but also to get to know myself better and what is it that I love. Like rediscovering what are the things that makes my heart sings with joy, and what are the things that I'm uncomfortable with. What are the things that I would love to learn, that I would love to improve. I've always wanted to learn. Like I would love to improve my driving because I don't feel like I'm a confident driver, and that is something that's coming on another list. So this is a reflection of why I decided to make such vows and why I decided to commit. And I feel like, first of all, it's about showing up, choosing to show up on a day to day. And if you are 48, like myself, and been divorced and just trying to figure out what is the next thing in this life, what is the next thing in my life, you've lost your job, then you sort of know that it's not about reinventing yourself, but it's about really getting to know yourself. Who are you? What makes you joyful? What lights your spark? What makes you grow? What makes you uncertain? What are your biggest fears? And I feel like this is a time for me to be doing that. So making these vows are a way of reconnecting to myself, a way of showing up to myself, for myself, and also a way of seeing that I'm growing and I'm expanding, I am developing, I am becoming, you can say that. And another reason is to move away from being selfless. I don't think there's anything wrong with being selfless. I think once in a while we are, but I feel like as women, that is what is expected of us. So just moving away from that role, and you know let it be a choice when I do choose to be selfless to those that I truly love and I feel loyal to, and mean the world to me, but not to everyone. So it's been putting me in focus in terms of yeah, what is it that I want and where am I going. And the third reason is that when you are constantly giving, you're constantly there for everyone, you're constantly giving your best, your 100% to everyone but yourself. And in return, when it's time for you to also receive as much and you don't receive, it sort of creates a sense of resentment and anger. And we know that anger keeps you stuck. Anger keeps you stagnant. Anger, it's just heavy. And I don't want to. I'm a Libra. I love beauty. I love joy. I love balance. I love harmony. So I do not thrive in spaces that are, congested with bad energy. I can deal with it, but then I need to move myself away from it because I know I thrive in beauty. I thrive in harmony. I thrive in reciprocity. So these are the three reasons of my reflections on why I decided to made this list of 50 vows that I am committing to myself. And one of the vows that that is on the top of my list is to continue running every week, and to continue doing races and whenever I can. And I love combining my races with traveling, go and race in Baltimore, go and do a race in Portugal, go and do a race in Milan. That's how running makes me, plan forward, that I'm not only planning running right now every weekend, but I'm always thinking, where could I run? Where could I run a race when I'm training like this? So it's just that's the first one on the list, and I've shared on my previous video, how often I run and what does running do for me. And the next list is, so there will going to be a promise that I keep to myself, and that promise will be followed by some reflection, just general life reflection, or particularly around that promise. So if you are also in a space where you feel like this resonates with you, maybe it's time for you to also start, thinking of ways and how you can recommit to yourself. I think it's really about recommitting to ourselves, because we're really good at committing to others and showing up for others and giving the best of ourselves to others, whether it's gifts, whether it's energy, whether it's love, but then we come in short when it comes to ourselves. So I feel like this recommitment of the vows is a way of recommitting to myself. And I think some people will say it's selfish, but I think it's about, again, choosing me and putting me in focus and expanding me and growing me and improving me, and recommitting to me. So look out for the next video on my next vow on the list. So it's running, I've done. And another thing is going out, to events, being active, social events, meeting people, talking to strangers when I'm out for events, solo event, like attend solo events alone. And the next vow on my list is actually, it's a long-term goal, but I was out at Copenhagen full marathon last week, and I was cheering for some friends, and I've decided that I'm going to run Copenhagen next marathon in 2027. So that is the biggest vow, and it's a long term, and I'll keep returning to it. And it also coincides with my running weekly and attending these social runs. But yeah, the vow 3 is attending social events, whether it's social runs, whether it's fashion shows, whether it's fashion events, saying yes, thank you to invites from friends, but also just going out to eat by myself, to sit at a cafe and enjoy my own company. And you can look forward to my vow number 4, and I am coming up with some reflections as well. How to style one skirt in different ways. This is my personal take, and I hope that it inspires you, or you can find a way on how to find that one particular skirt that you have in your wardrobe and then style it in different ways. Now that we are approaching summer, we're approaching spring and summer. This is a very light viscose printed skirt. I feel like it's very eye-catching on its own, and it can be styled down. It can also be styled, upwards. I'm going to show you 3, maybe 4 ways on how you can style your printed skirt that you have at home, whether it's colorful, whether it's, brown tones like this one, but it still has a summer flowy vibe and light. The material is really light, and there's a slit. So right now I style it with the row slip-ons that are the same tone as the skirt. I love the slip-ons. They're very comfortable. This could be like a summer look, and I'm wearing it. I love tank tops. For me, someone who's a pear shape, I feel like tank tops are my best style features, because they show my shoulders, and like they highlight the top of my body, and the skirt sort of hide, not hide. I don't want to hide, but gives us a good silhouette around my thighs and then my hips, which I think are the biggest part of my body. And then, the tiny waist. So if you have a pear shape, this could be something for you, that you always find pieces that draw the attention upwards, to the features that you feel most confident and comfortable in, and the features that you would love to, cover or have less attention on. Then, and you can also wear a tank top with dark blue denims, because the dark, gives a straight stream silhouette, straight line silhouette. But then the bright, it could be an orange tank top, it could be a white tank top, it could also be a blank tank top, but it shows your shoulders, your shoulder bones, and your, the slimmest part of your body. So I'm wearing this skirt with a tank top and some very beautiful elaborate earrings. They click, they're slightly loud, but I love that. From Etsy, they are by Oscar de la Renta Vintage. So like I said, if you look on Etsy, you'll find one-of-a-kind pieces. They're clip-ons, so after a while you start feeling, your earlobes. But I mean, we suffer for beauty. So I'm wearing these earrings, and I have some sunglasses that I bought, almost like a very cheap pair of sunglasses, but I just love how they fit my shape. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, I mean, I love the cat eye, but I feel like I have that kind of face that fits all kinds of sunglasses. But because now I'm turning 49, I see there's a change of structure on my face, so I have to avoid sunglasses that sort of draw the attention on my, on these lines that you sort of start noticing as you get older. So I need something that will pick me up. And for some reason, I felt like these were a perfect shape for my, perfect fit for my shape, face shape. And yeah, so this is the up, the top part, and then I tied like a little ribbon that comes with stuff, packages around my hair, my sister locks. I don't know if you can see, just to put them away from my face, because the earrings are so elaborate. So I don't want the hair to also be in the way, so it gets too much. And I'm carrying this beautiful python skin clutch from Etsy, also vintage. And so you can see the skirt, it's got a zip. I really love that it's like light. But because I cycle a lot in Copenhagen, I noticed that my stuff gets, easily worn at the back, because I sit on the bike. So I have to be careful that, some pieces I shouldn't bike. So this is the whole look, the first look, a summer look, and I could be going for brunch with a friend when it gets warm. And I can also remove the earrings. Like, I feel like you can wear anything, and then you can always add or remove a piece depending on what the occasion is. And if I were to go out, I would switch to high heels, and I can just show you. I've styled the skirt with some slides from the row, which I really love. It's in the same tone as the skirt. And then I paired it with a tank top, because I'm a pear shape. So I love to wear things that highlight my torso, my small frame, and sort of give a good silhouette around my thighs and around my butt. And you could also wear a tank top with some denims if you are a pear shape person. And I absolutely love, in denims, I love high waists, because again, I've got a longer torso, so they highlight my upper torso. But this is the skirt that I'm wearing with a tank top. And I always repeat items from my wardrobe. So I'm carrying this clutch from Etsy that you can, like, if you really take time to look at Etsy, you'll find amazing pieces. And I've got these sunglasses that I got from my grocery shop. I just fell in love with the shape of the sunglasses. You can see the clutch from Etsy, python skin. And just show you the earrings and the sunglasses. The earrings are also from Etsy, Oscar de la Renta Vintage. So if you take time to look for particular pieces, you'll find beautiful stuff on Etsy. And I feel like they become one-of-a-kind pieces that you can't find in Zara or Mango. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with shopping in Mango and Zara. You can buy the basics, but some things that are just, things that stand out and are good quality and vintage, they've been used and they can withhold time. So the clutch and the earrings are those pieces. And these were just like 50 crowns, which is nothing, to be honest. But I just love how they fit my face shape. And as I get older, I notice that there's certain sunglasses that I can't wear because my shape, the face shape has changed, or gravity happens, and yeah, we lose the collagen. So I need sunglasses that are going to elevate my face and not make it worse. So this is the first outfit with the skirt. And my sister locks, I've tied a ribbon just around to pull away my hair away from my face, because I feel like the earrings are doing a lot of talking on their own. So I don't need the hair and the earrings. So if you can see, and I'm just going to go back. And now I'm just going to show you the second look, where I just change the shoes but keep the whole outfit. This I would wear if I was going for a brunch with friends on a summer's day or spring, and then I can always throw on a jacket, a denim jacket, and I can show with the vintage denim jacket at the top. Still going out if it gets cold. I love this old denim jacket. The more used it is, a denim jacket for me, I think it gives it character. And yeah, and it's slightly oversized. I would just, wrap it around my shoulders. So this is the whole look, if you can see from here. And I'm just going to do like a 360 of the whole outfit, going back. And look number 2. This is look number 2 for you guys. The only thing that I did was just switch the shoes. I'm wearing these kitten heels, and I'm sure you've seen them several times in some of my outfits. I love to buy things, whether expensive or affordable, but things that are durable, things that I can wear time and time again. And as we know, Python, animal print, is a neutral. It can go with anything, and I feel like I can get away with these kitten heels, and then the denim jacket. And so this I could take maybe to an evening dinner, still on a summer's day, and maybe I would add on, the lipstick to make it more evening worthy. Right now I just have a little bit of gloss with color. I would just put on my MAC Ruby Woo to make the whole look more elevated. So this is what would look 1 or 1.5, you could say. And then I'm going to show you look 2 or maybe 2.5. So stay tuned. Still on the printed skirt. This is a more and more type of look. Wow. I just put everything together. I didn't think about that this was a more and more, so I styled the printed skirt with a leopard print blouse that I also bought a couple of years ago, silk from Etsy. I just love how it just, yeah. And the buttons are completely open. I'm wearing my African necklace. And I'm wearing these printed animal print kitten heels that I always talk about. I always repeat my items, and then the clutch. I could carry the clutch if I'm going out, but I could also lose the clutch and carry something like shoulder strap. I think a black bag would just be too heavy on this one. So to keep the all the colors in the same family, with the colors, the brown and the a little bit dark brown and off white. So this is the, yeah, this, I think this works well. And then I've kept the jewelry minimal, so it's the silver earrings and a gold necklace. So I'm just going to walk so you can see the look. But yes, this is a more and more kind of look. And then the belt also, it's my old Gucci belt from Etsy as well. Yeah, and I love that the shirt is buttoned down. So this is the look, and I actually love this look. I mean, I feel like I'm an Italian woman. You know, when you if you see, I'm not saying all Italian women are, more is more, but the Italian fashion is just, yeah. You're not afraid. You're not afraid of color. You're not afraid of prints, mixing prints and color. And I think this is my vibe. And so not Danish minimalists, and I'm not Danish. So, but I've been living in Denmark for years, and I think I tend to also gravitate towards some minimalistic outfits. But I actually always use a pop of color in my outfits, and that is a South African in me. We love color. We love bright, beautiful, and we can do color in a beautiful way. So I feel like this is me going more and more without being over the top. So yeah, I'm just going to stand up. You can see it's still the same clutch. I'm going to walk behind backward so you can see the whole look in its fullness. And it's still the same printed skirt, guys. So again, find that one item piece find that one item piece that is going to be like the foundation of your outfit, and then you can play around. So now you've seen that I've styled this printed skirt with a tank top, a button down, a waistcoat, and I just changed the accessories. Remember, I told you about accessories, that they just are that extra thing that you add on your look. Yes, so the clutch, the necklace, your silk scarves, and all the whole lot. So this is the whole look. And here I can actually change the shoes just to break the color pattern, the color scheme, just to add a bit of surprise. So I'm going to change the shoes so you can get to see that you can get color. So now I've changed the shoes. They just break this color pattern that is going on, the brown and the cream and the dark brown, chocolate brown. So the shoes add an element of surprise, but also like wow, but you really have to. I think you have to play around with fashion. I think you have to play around with your clothes, play dress up in your wardrobe. And I realize that I have enough clothing. I just need to be creative, and I hope that this inspires you as well. Like what do you have in your wardrobe? What are those pieces that you've bought that have always been your trusted pieces, and how can you mix and match? And next time I can show you how to style, the pussy blouse in different ways, with denims, with shorts. But right now it's styled with this printed skirt, and you decide where to go, which occasion suits this outfit. And yeah, and just comment below and let me know which was your favorite look in all the different looks that I've showed with wearing a print, on how you could style your printed skirt. What is it that you love, that resonated with you, that could fit into your personal style? Because remember, what I'm sharing here is just suggestions as a woman who's 48, knowing that style is a fashion is a place where I can play, can express myself, but also to keep looking and feeling good as we age, as we are experiencing changes in our bodies, that we start feeling stuck and all that. We don't have to. This is the place where we can play. This is the place where we can reinvent. This is the place where we can be somebody else. This is the place where we can leave the trip, right? Like right now, I just feel like I'm somebody else. So yeah, play around, see what you have, and don't be afraid. And if you are not that afraid, you are more than welcome to share a picture of how you would style your printed skirt, whether it's a colorful one, whether it's with demurred tones. It really doesn't matter. It's just seeing one item with endless possibilities on how to wear it, and in that way you never feel like you don't have anything to wear, right? I'm ready. Summer is ready. Summer is coming, and I'm ready. I'm ready to go out. I'm ready to go for brunch. Plastic bag that could be used as a summer bag for summer. And I mean, I'm just wearing the fairy kitten heels. I just absolutely love them. I think they're a statement piece. I'm just going to put my mic here. I think they're like a look at me type of piece. And I love the green, the two different types of green on this outfit, and the neutral. So now I've paired the skirt with the waistcoat. And I've changed earrings so that it's the bag and the shoes that are taking the center stage. I don't know if you can notice from look one where the earrings were almost the centerpiece kind of attraction. Now I'm wearing my the bag and the shoes are the ones that are screaming out attention. And yeah, I'm wearing this vintage linen waistcoat that I also got on Etsy a couple of years ago. And it was actually big, so I had it sewn in because I just love that the material is so good. So sometimes if you do find things, it's okay to spend time, having them altered. If it's good quality material like this one, it's linen and it's in a beautiful color. It was in pristine quality. There weren't any holes or anything. I was willing to buy it and then have it altered sewn in because it was slightly big around my breast. But I love that it's open and I'm not wearing any bra. And last time I styled the waistcoat with some denims and some necklaces that went all the way down, and my Provenza Scola boots and a clutch bag, and I went out to party and I felt so stunning, and then a red lip. So this could be also a way to style your skirt. So this is the waistcoat. And these are not pockets, but they're just a little decoration on the waistcoat. So this is the second look on how you can style your printed skirt. As summer is approaching, we're still in spring, but like you start looking at what are some of the like the fundaments of your wardrobe, like the printed skirt that can go with absolutely anything, from a basic tank top to a button down shirt to funky earrings or to funky high heels. 3 or 4, I don't remember where I was at. So I kept the skirt and I've got this oversized extra large button down in blue. What I did is a no, but I love that I put on a brooch. Instead of tying the shirt down, I just wrapped it around and then tied this beautiful vintage brooch that I found at a vintage shop in Copenhagen a couple of years ago. And then I styled it with a clutch again, kept the same shoes, changed earrings, and then add on a necklace. I don't know if you can see, so I'll just turn around so you can see. This could be a look that I could, rock if I'm going out for a chilled summer night out. And these are the details. So this is the shirt and the necklace, which is from Moni's, by this Danish brand Moni's. And then I've mixed the gold and the silver together. And I just opened the shirt without any bra. You can also, if you're like me, you can also wear like a little bralette just for extra, safety. I would normally wear a bralette if I was going out. And I love the Ralph Lauren polo cotton, and especially if you're going through perimenopause, it's nice to have materials that are, where you can sweat in and, natural fibers. So a polo shirt, it could be a white shirt, it could be a blue shirt, it could be a pink shirt with the printed skirt, and then a necklace, elaborate necklace and earrings, and then the hair's out at the back. And then, of course, the clutch forever. And I've kept the same shoes, and it's still the same skirt, but now the shirt is over. I don't know if you can see from the back. I could also tuck the shirt in, but I love that it's untucked and there's this beautiful detail of the brooch. An unexpected turn of how you can style your button down. So hopefully this inspires you, and I know that you do have these pieces in your wardrobe, a printed skirt of some sort, whether it's bright and colorful or whether it's, neutral colors. And I'm sure you also can find or shop in your partner's wardrobe, your boyfriend's wardrobe, your brother's wardrobe, a button down shirt. Oversized, even better, because you can pull the sleeves up and just create your own look.